If you're just gonna do it, do it. And I don't even know what I'm doing, so here we are. And if you're new here, and most of you probably are, welcome to my YouTube channel. So for today's video, we are going to dive right in and kind of go through some new makeup that I bought. I don't want to do an unboxing, so I'll probably do that in a separate video. But we're just going to be trying some stuff out. So I don't want to make this too long, so let's just jump right into it. I got a huge bag of Ulta stuff here. Got some Morphe setting spray because I've been dying to try it. Real Technique sponge, some brushies, some more setting spray. So the first thing I'm actually going to use that's new to me is this sponge. I got it from Spirit, which is a Halloween store, as most of you know. So maybe they'll have a discount on it coming up because Halloween sales, but who knows. Anyway, I also got some brushes to try out from them as well, if you want to take a look at those. These were $9.99, so I was like, worth a shot. And then also, I have this giant box of ColourPop stuff that I bought online, and I purchased it for my birthday. It does include the So Jaded palette, which I'm super stoked about, which we will be testing out today, along with the new, well, it's not new to me, ColourPop Stick Foundation, which I'm super stoked to try out. A couple palettes here and some other shadows, so let's go. As most of you are probably excited about the So Jaded palette here. This is what it looks like. I'm sure most of you have seen it online, or I would hope most of you already have it because Kathleen is amazing, and the fact that she created a 30 pan shade palette with ColourPop is phenomenal. So I'm going to go ahead and start by priming my eyes. And to do that, I'm going to use no other than the ColourPop concealers. I am going in with shade Light. And with this, I usually just like to prime one eyelid at a time, just because this concealer seems to dry down pretty quickly. First impressions of the sponge, it's a little stiff, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it'll get the job done, right? We are going to go in and set that, and I'm going to use what, again, is new to me, the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. Perfect, perfect. All right, so next we are going to move into, you got it, you guessed it, the So Jaded palette. The look I'm going to try to recreate is one that I saw Kathleen post most recently. I thought it was a really pretty look, so that is what we are going to try to recreate today. So the first shade I'm going to dip into is this one right here called Rose Quartz. And I know she said when she uses this color it's really light, but it's got a little bit of pink in it. So we're just going to take our time to build that up and see where it gets us. I usually like to go a little bit higher than my crease just because I do have hooded eyelids, and if I was to go directly in my crease, nobody's gonna see that. So as most of you can tell, this is definitely my first YouTube video. I've been kind of going back and forth as to if I should even attempt to create a channel because there are so many channels that are out there, but after I turned 27 in October, I just thought, what have I got to lose? So if you're out there and you're debating if you should start one or not, do it. Try it. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's not. But someone said this to me before, and I heard it recently again. The answer is always no until you ask. So nobody's going to watch your videos if you don't make them. And so here we are. It took me a little bit of time, a little bit of encouragement from a friend of mine, which I'm very grateful for. So hopefully you guys subscribe, stick around, and we can get to know each other a little bit better. I will tell you that this brush that I'm using is decent. I don't have a huge collection of brushes. I don't really think anybody needs that many, but these are the B Pro ones. I got them off Amazon. I'll be honest, they're garbage. This one, however, the blending brush that I'm using, this one seems to do pretty well, but I also may just be saying that because I don't have a good one. So I did buy some Morphe brushes. I know a lot of people aren't huge fans of Morphe. I don't understand the controversy, but I don't usually get in the drama, so I don't really care. So much softer. What have I been doing? So this next one I'm going to use is, like I said, using the Morphe M518. And I'm going to dip into Your Gem. Just kind of warm up the crease a little bit. So I'm going to dip into Moonstone, and I'll show you what that looks like right here. I think this might work better if I use my finger, which is what I'm going to do. And I don't really see that she has like a matte purple shade in here, and I kind of want to put some purple in it because I've been loving purple looks lately. So I'm actually going to jump into one of the single shadows I bought from ColourPop. This is my palette that I won't say I created, but I bought like one of those Z palettes or whatever and purchased some individual ColourPop shadows. And I am going to go into this one here. I believe it's called Face It. But I'm going to dip into that shade and try to deepen up the outer V just a little bit. So this other shade I'm going to dip into is Pretty Cruel. It's this one right here. It's got a little bit of shimmer in it, but I'm kind of going to use that to sandwich the two together. So I knocked off some of that sparkle. I know one of the most raved about shades in this palette is the shade called Diamond, which I believe is a Super Shock shadow. I do know that Kathleen also took this shade as well to kind of put in the middle here to kind of bring those two together. I'm going to dip back into that shade called GRWM just to kind of blend this stuff together and kind of warm it back up a little bit. We may have to go back in and reapply a few of those shades. So I'm going in with another Wet n Wild brush. This is like one of their blending brushes. I'm just dipping back into that Rose Quartz shade. And I'm just going to dip back into Moonstone again. Brighten that up just a little bit. Alright, I am going to stop there. I think it looks pretty smoky. Now it's kind of hard to see on this other side. It's just partially my lighting, but making sure both sides blend well. ColourPop Stick Foundation. This is what it looks like. So I'm just going to start by swiping some of this on. I should probably get my hair out of my face. And I did prep my skin prior to this. I went in with just like some face oil, wash my face, all that. And I'm going to, I probably should have put some sort of primer on, but YOLO. Do not get the sponge from Spirit, okay? Save your money. Not good. I did get a new Real Technique sponge to try again. That one's not wet, that's why I'm not using it. And I bought this one too, and I wanted to try it out. But this ain't your friend. I did get a new foundation brush from Real Technique. I did just purchase this today. It does say it's limited edition, but if you run out to your local Ulta, you can get this brush. The coverage isn't bad on this foundation. I wish it was a little better, but it could just be the way that I'm applying it. I don't know. We're all new here. Who knows what's going on? But it doesn't look bad on the skin. I will say that. It looks more skin-like, which I'm more of a fan of. I do have plans on purchasing their Pretty Fresh tinted moisturizer because I think that's something that I will really like. The two shades that I have in the ColourPop concealers is Light 10 and Light 14. This is not a first impressions on this concealer. This is one of my Holy Grail concealers. I really enjoy it. And I'm going to take some of that Light 14 and just add a little bit extra, just a little bit of extra coverage. I'm going to go back in with some of that Fit Me powder again, and that's what I use to set underneath my eyes as well. I'm going to jump back in to the So Jaded palette, and I'm going to grab a little bit of that Rose Quartz shade again. I'm going to dip into this other palette of these single eyeshadows to get that purple shade called Face It again. And I can zoom you in just a bit so you guys can see how that diamond shade is looking. I'm going in with this Maybelline Rocket Volume Mascara. That's not my favorite, but it gets the job done. Alright, so I went in with that mascara. I didn't purchase this Great Lash Mascara. I got it in when I purchased my Marcella water. I think that's how you say it, Marcella water. It was glued to the front of it. It was a free gift, and I'm going to use it. 2 coats of just the Maybelline, the Rocket one, and then this is 2 coats of the Maybelline, and then 1 coat of the Great Lash. I'm going to be testing out, again, this is a blank Z palette that I did purchase through ColourPop, and then I did purchase all 6 of these. This right here is the highlighter called Pat It Down. This is like a mauve blush. It's called I Need Space. This is a bronzer by them. It's called Private Party. This one is called Rom-Com, and it's a blush, and this one is, these are all blushes, these 4, highlighter and bronzer. And then this one is Excuse My French. And this one, of course, a Kathleen Light collab, Lunar Has It, which I'm obsessed with. All right, let's get into this. So I still need a good bronzer brush, and I don't know if I bought one today, but I've been using this Wet n Wild like face brush, and it's actually been working pretty well. And I think my light is dying. Not really sure. Anyway, so I'm going to dip into that bronzer shade. And I'm going to go in with the blush Lunar Has It. I'm going to go in with that Pat It Down highlighter. I'm actually going to go in with that same highlighter that I used for my face to use for my inner corners and my brow bone, which is, again, is that Pat It Down highlighter. I'm going to go into Pearl, which I haven't touched this shade yet other than swatching it, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go right over top of that Pat It Down and put that on there. I think we're done. So I'm going to zoom you guys in just a bit so you can see a little bit better. Alright guys, this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!